Hello and welcome back to my weekly recap video where I'll go over basically all the trades that I've taken, all the things that I didn't do well, the things that I did do well, and yeah, we're just going to be going through it together. I did just do a little bit of a weekly recap myself because I do separate notes for it, and then we're going to actually go through the daily journal, which is just this little tab here where we're going to go through everything. Right now you're looking at the dashboard and I've filtered it for this week. So we're looking at the 6th to the 12th. Obviously, I don't trade crypto, I only trade gold. I don't trade crypto, so I don't take any trades over the weekend. And I only trade gold because I'm still a beginner trader, so I don't want to overwhelm myself with too many instruments. I just want to get intuitive with one, and gold is already hard enough. I feel like I'm starting to kind of get a little bit of an intuition with it, so I don't want to add in too much yet. But we'll see. Later on, I'll probably end up adding more instruments, but for now, we're just trading gold. I only took one trade this week, so yes, I have an 100% win rate this week. It also shows a break-even trade here, but I didn't take any other trades. I only took one trade this week, so I'll show you guys that lovely little mess up that I did. Yeah, you can see my P&L. A solid $24. I'm gonna go buy myself a Lambo, but I trade on a $2,000 account and I only risk 1%. So the trade that I took was a pretty small trade, and because I only have a $2,000 account, I can only get typically. I usually am only able to get. Obviously, you can't do a 0.01568 whatever. So yeah, so I can't usually leave gold runners for my trades, which is what I would prefer to do, but price hasn't really given me an opportunity yet to do that. So that's why my R to R is so low and my P&L is so low. But I always, whenever I look at this, you guys might look at this and be like, this is some BS, she's only made $24, what the hell, who cares? Whenever I look at this, I always think okay, what about later on when I have more size? So when I have $20,000 account, keep in mind I've only taken one trade this week. Market conditions weren't the best, and I didn't get very many entries, and I only trade one instrument. So later on, hopefully I'll be taking more trades because I'll either be trading off of more instruments, and the market conditions will hopefully be better, as in the US government will reopen and the market will be somewhat normal. But yeah, and I also hopefully get more confidence as a trader because I'm still a beginner, so I'm still very much risk. I can't even think of the word, but I'm still very much wanting to take the best trades, and I don't know. I'm kind of over explaining myself here, but usually I'll sit and I'll see my P and I'll be then I'll think, okay, if I have more money, if I have more size, if I had a $20,000 account, that would look like $240, which again isn't crazy. But then if I have a $200,000 account, which is totally achievable when you have funded accounts, that's not that much. When you have funded accounts, and that would look like $2,400, which would be, I'd be pretty happy with that. Yeah, that's what I always do whenever I look at this. Anyway, that was a little bit of a yap to start with. Obviously my score isn't the best. Consistency, I don't really know what that means. Yeah, I guess that's because I've only taken one trade, or because I took a break-even trade. I don't know. Max drawdown, yeah, this, I didn't really have any drawdown. Even the trade that I did, it was pretty good. Yeah, I guess I can't really do average win to loss because there was only one trade. The second trade was a trade that I accidentally opened on this instrument because on my MT4 it comes up with only a few options. I'm just going to open it up and show you guys because transparency. But it's literally 3 options at the top. I think I can get rid of it, but I just haven't ever bothered to. Sorry about that. I haven't ever bothered to get rid of it. Yeah, so that I instantly opened that up because I took my trade when I was out. I had all my alerts and everything set on my chart. I had my charts already done and set up. So yeah, I was just in a bit of a rush when I was opening it up and I made that mistake. So yeah, it definitely sucks, but it is what it is. And if you look at the monthly thing, I've taken one trade this month. Last week I didn't get very good price action, so I've only taken one trade, and yeah, I'm still pretty happy with that. I have no complaints. So anyway, let's go to the daily journal. Actually, let's go to my notebook because this is where I have my weekly recap. So total trades taken is 1, win rate is 100%, average trade 1.15, not the best, but once I have more size, I'll be able to leave a runner, that position that I did take, which you guys will see my other mess up that I did this week. But the position that I did take did end up continuing, the trend continued. So I could have had a way better up, but I'm sticking to my rules, taking 50% out of my target and then letting the rest run. And I couldn't take 50% out because I couldn't take 0.005 because it doesn't allow you to do that on gold. Anyway, best trade. So I was gonna have my best trade here being the one that I won, but I was like, actually no. The best trade that I took this week was not taking a short on Friday because I was so conflicted because price was somewhat showing me to enter, but I used my discretion and the weekly analysis that I did last week, and I was like, okay, no, this isn't a good trade to take because of X, Y, and Z. Even though it technically meets my entry criteria, looking at the overall market conditions and the overall story that the market is telling me, it is not a good trade to take. So that's probably the best trade because otherwise, if I had taken the trade, it would have wiped out all of my profits this week. I would have been left with what, like $4 or something. So I'm definitely happy that I sat out of that trade. That was my best trade, and I think I'm going to continue to do that. Like, if I choose not to take trade, best believe I'm going to be journaling about how that's the best decision I made, because what's that thing that everyone says, like, traders are risk managers or something, and like the best trades that you take are the trades that you don't take, or yeah. So anyway, and the worst trade is not applicable because I sat out of all the bad trades that I could have taken. So I don't believe that I took any bad trades because the only trade that I did take was a winner, and it met all of my entry criteria, and I was super patient during it, and yeah, and then all the other ones I actually sat out of. So yeah, so I sat out on all days except Tuesday because there was no good opportunities. Did I follow my rules? I rated myself an 8 because I didn't do my back testing or my study daily. I did it some days during the week, but I didn't do it every single day, which is what I had outlined in my progress tracker. And if you guys want to see that video, it's the video where I give my trading journal glow up, I think it's called. I overtrade? No, I didn't. Thank God. My emotional patterns this week was greed. I was super greedy because I was desperate to make money because I'm just a little bit OCD. But I was desperate to make money because I just wanted to make money and I wanted to, have the freedom that trading allows you to have. But it's all a process and it all comes with time. And you shouldn't chase money when you're trading. So I was super self-aware of that, and I was very transparent with it through all of my morning analysis, everything, all of my journal entries. I was very, very clear. Like, I was just desperate to take a trade and desperate to make money and was being greedy. So I was super transparent with that, which I'm pretty proud of, and I'm still continuing to be that. I need to obviously get rid of the greed, but it's a very natural emotion. Just as long as you regulate that while you're trading is what I found works for me, but we'll see. I'm proud of sitting out of that Friday trade because you guys don't understand. I was like on the charts, like, how can I take this trade? Like, I'm waiting for it to like show me something. I'm moving my alerts around. I'll show you guys the journaling entry that I did for that trade. But yeah, I was like, I need to take this trade, but I didn't need to take this trade. I needed to take that trade because I was greedy. Is obviously not a good way to take a trade. I even did a post on my. I forgot what I was up to. My mom came in to say goodnight to me. Yeah, I think I was just talking about that I was most proud of sitting out of that trade because I was greedy. And yeah, I'm planning to watch like some and take notes on some of the Justin Werlein videos because he's really, really good when it comes to his psychology videos. Like, he always talks about how you have to disconnect from wanting to make money and just focus on trying to be a good trader. So that's what I'm trying to do, but I feel like I need a little bit of revision, a little bit of a reminder, even though I'm doing pretty well, in my opinion, by not taking the trades. I think I was going to show you guys the thing that I posted, but I don't know where it is. What needs fixing? My analysis could use some revision because I think with the chaos of what happened on Friday, when I was so like, I need to take this trade, it messed up my analysis. Like, I was like, I want to be like so solid in my analysis. Like, I am pretty solid as it is, but everyone can always improve, in my opinion. Obviously, you don't want to be like adding new things. Like, if you trade, supply and demand, you don't want to be, mixing it with other things you don't need to. So yeah, I just want to fix my analysis, as in like revise some ICC content, revise some market structure content, and just make sure that I'm like so clear in what I need to do and what I need to be analyzing. And yeah, I just feel like just so that when I am in like highly emotional situations like I was on Friday where I just wanted to take a trade so bad, which I'd never ended up taking because I was so like in tune with the emotions that I was feeling. So yeah, so I think my analysis could use some revision, and then which setup worked best for me, the Tuesday one, which setups didn't work, that was not applicable because I didn't take any losses this week because I sat out of all the ones that wouldn't work, and then market conditions observed copy and they're somewhat reversing. So I think the trade that I took on the Tuesday was a continuation, and then I think after the Tuesday, on Wednesday, I think it started kind of being choppy and reversing a little bit. But anyway, let's go through some of the trades just super quickly. Friday, I just highlighted a few things. So Friday, price hit my dynamic support for my weekly analysis. Mistakes, notice I didn't need to be so stressed. I should have looked at the weekly analysis and said, yep, cool. That was one of the thing. Maybe not. But yeah, this was my weekly analysis. Price is about to hit that dynamic support. And this is the ICC setup that I had observed. You can see that price is making it only just made a lower high here and went for the correction. Price is still actually correcting now. Like you can see the setup. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to take a trade. I think it was around about here, which my stop would have been like above this high. Target would have been at this low, and obviously it would have been a loss at the end of the day. But yeah, it's kind of what the setup I wanted to take desperately, because you can see it is an ICC setup, but the correction isn't over. So yeah, that was the trade that I was, crashing out over. Thursday, the reason I set out was higher time frame was bullish, so price could be choppy, but I observed a sell ICC setup, so I just didn't want to take it because it wasn't 100% because the high time frame was still bullish. And then mistakes, I didn't backtest or study. And this day, price only just started correcting in New York. With FOMC, it was high risk, so when I wait for an ICC, you wait for the indication correction and then a continuation. So because price had only just started correcting in New York session, and then FOMC was due to come out 4 hours later, it was like, no, there's not really any point waiting for the continuation, because the continuation will probably come the same time FOMC comes, and I don't want to be trading at FOMC. And then mistakes, notice I didn't really have any mistakes other than I did not backtest and I did not study, I don't think. Yeah, you can see that's where that indication was, and then that correction I was waiting for. And yeah, I don't know if price ended up fully correcting. I don't think it did do a full correction until it hit this level. Which is another thing, price has made an ICC setup like this. So it made a indication correction, and then it looks like it's doing a continuation, right? Like, it's such a conflicting setup. And then Tuesday, I was annoyed when I was doing my weekly recap, because look, where's the mistake? I didn't journal the winner. That's my mistake. I did a trade recap on YouTube, so I just linked that here, but I still didn't do a proper journal session for this trade, and I didn't add any screenshots or anything, so that's a problem. So that's something I need to hold my accountable for, so I'm a little bit annoyed about that. And then Monday, the entry criteria wasn't met, price went without me. The mistakes I had, I started marking up the lower time frame, moving my alerts around because price wasn't hitting them, so I was forcing a trade. And that's like, when I start moving alerts because price doesn't hit them, that's when I know that I'm starting to force a trade. So yeah, that's when price went above this level, and then it just pushed up without me, and I wanted to see price retrace back to here, but it never did. But yeah, that's my little trade recap. I'm going to post a weekly analysis very soon, but yeah, that was basically it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know how your week went. I feel like I've covered everything. Yeah, I want to continue to be as transparent as possible, so making sure that I do show you guys the overall, because obviously day to day is one thing, but the overall is really what matters. So yeah, I hope you guys had a great week, and good luck this trading week, and I'll speak to you guys later, if not tomorrow. Bye.